In the last couple of years, Pope Francis has written an encyclical called The Joy of the Gospel, Evangelium Gaudium. And it's very fitting for our times because unfortunately many people today look around at all the Christians they know, and lots of these Christian people who claim to follow Jesus and have the Holy Spirit in their lives are not very joyful. And that's a problem, right? If we really believe in Jesus, if we believe the good news that He has given to us, our lives should reflect the joy that comes from this gospel. And so in this encyclical, Pope Francis was encouraging all Catholics, all Christians really, to truly live out this joyful witness of the gospel. And that's not something we can just manufacture ourselves. It's not something you can kind of just make happen, but it's truly a fruit and a gift of the Holy Spirit. But at the same time, it does require our cooperation. So it's always that twofold dynamic, God's grace coming upon us and also us cooperating with an act of the will. And I think that a good example of this is the work of the Missionaries of Charity and Mother Teresa. When I was a kid, we used to go to a soup kitchen in Detroit and volunteer there with the Missionaries of Charity, and there were all these pretty rough homeless men and women that would come from all over, and we'd help give them food. But before each day we were there, all the volunteers would gather downstairs in the kitchen and pray this long prayer with the sisters before we went out to serve. And I don't remember much of the prayer, it was kind of long, but there was one part where we would always say, and serve with a big smile. And that's sort of a theme of Mother Teresa's work and her writing. She would often use that phrase, with a big smile. She would encourage her sisters to always smile and to be this joyful presence. So that's definitely not something that they could just do without the grace of God. God was there, but they also were making an intentional act of the will to be joyful. I think as we have this special time now during this Advent series, this Journey series, we're going to have some time to meditate on the joyful mysteries of the Rosary. And there is great joy in the life of Christ and joy that He wants to bring to each one of us. So let's really dive into this time of meditation. Let's ask the Lord for that grace to truly be joyful, not in a simply human way, a manufactured way, but in a sincere way that can only come from God. Because Jesus really wants us to be joyful witnesses of His gospel. And He'll give us whatever grace we need to do that, so long as we cooperate with Him, so long as we say, like Mother Teresa, that we do these things with a big smile, with the joy of the Lord present in our hearts.